phase 2. This project involves the design and construction of a specialist cardiology center at the Tamale Teaching Hospital under the Ministry of Health. It's a broad project which is also going to benefit the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital and the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital. The facility basically is going to involve the construction of a 3-story building designed for efficient clinical operations and service integration, an angiography suite, a monoplane with associated scrap and control rooms, 4-bed recovery unit, 5-bed intensive care unit, and a dedicated patient preparation area. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, over the past 2 days, has been in this region engaging the people directly. This is part of his governance strategy, where after 1 year in office, he wants to personally be in touch with the people, be on the ground to inspect the progress of work, cut sod for the construction of new ones. So if you are watching us live on WoezorTV and the presidency social media handles, you'll notice that his car has just entered the compound where this new facility will be situated. That is the CATLAB systems at the Tamale Teaching Hospital. The president is accompanied by the health minister, who I understand will also be speaking at this brief inspection ceremony. The project contractor would also be walking him through the project itself, the design that will also be showcased here for the president to understand exactly how the structure will be. And then the head of the cardiology unit would also help him to understand how these strategic facilities, which will be situated in Tamale Teaching Hospital, Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, and the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital will be. It will include a laboratory and pharmacy, a collaborative diagnostic room, a consulting room, and cardiac rehabilitation space. A 50-seater seminar meeting room would also be incorporated into the project. And so on the screen, you would notice that the officials led by the Minister for Health, Kobna Menta Akando, the MP for Tamale South, Harun Edrisu, are all here, who have just received His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. So at this stage, we'll hand over to the contractor who will brief him.
Welcome, Your Excellency. So my name is Kojo of ADB. So these are the architectural impressions of what we are doing, the cardiology center. These are on the floor-to-floor basis. We have on the ground floor oxygen dispensary and the pharmacy centers. They also host the administrative offices on the ground floor. What are you talking about? We are talking about the various floors on the cardiology center. So the administrative floors are on the ground floor. We have 2 lifts. One lift that goes, the main lift, and then the other lift. The main lift the main lift is going to go for the patients, and then the other lift going for the administrative uses. When you go onto the first floor, we have the angiology and the ICUs on the first floor. That's on the first floor here. The angiology, the recovery room, the ICU. It's more of the technical for the cardiology related services.
That's like the CATLAB.
The actual CATLAB.
Okay,
yes,
okay.
Yes. That's where it's going to be.
Okay.
And then on the second floor, we have the meeting rooms and the meeting rooms and the general stores, and then also we have also an office up on the second floor. Now, on the construction phase, we came to meet a structure on the premises where we are now. We tried as much as possible to stay away from cutting down all the trees. So we located a good spot around where we are now for the structure we have now. So we've gone ahead and done all the foundation work with respect to excavation, the foundation concrete, the filling.
That one.
No, it's behind you on your left side. Yes.
No, I mean this one.
Yes, this one. This one is what you have on the across the fence. Yes, please. So after demolishing the structure that we have here, this is the structure that we had demolished, and then this is
the
area where we propose for the construction as we have here. So after the demolition, we did our setting out, marked all the footprint of the building, did our excavations, did the related concrete, and then the rebar works. And currently, we've also gone ahead and finished all the foundation works. To ensure good construction practice, we have ensured that we applied the right damp-proof membrane to control rising dampness. While doing the concrete works also, we have cured our concrete to ensure that the structures hold. Currently, as we have now, we have done all the ground floor columns and ready for the first floor. So we have done all the concrete works on the ground floor columns as we have over here, and then done all the support works to receive the concrete works for the first floor slab. So we are currently about 30 to 40% on construction works. Also, in terms of the equipment, we have procured all the equipment, and then once we are done with the construction, all the equipment are going to come in, and then the installation. Yes, so that's where we are now. This is Dr. Yakubu.
Yes, okay.
He's a cardiologist. He's the head of internal medicine here.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. So, together with my colleague, we are the 2 resident cardiologists in the entire northern sector. Yes. Yes, and we are the only 2. And since assuming our positions in 2022, we've encountered a lot of cardiac conditions, including emergencies, for which we need direct access to the blood vessels and the heart to treat these patients. Okay. This facility, which we think is very timely and visionary, gives us the opportunity to do that. Okay, but we were very excited when we heard that it was more than just a CATLAB, but a cardiac center, because we know from our experience that the outcomes of these patients depend a lot on what happens before they even enter the CATLAB and the post-procedure care they get. So we think this is something that is really really visionary, is timely, and we think that the idea of the cardiac center with all the associated facilities, ICU, oxygen plant, really serves our purpose, especially in northern Ghana. Some of these cardiac emergencies are time sensitive, so you really don't have time to, even if the patient had the means to transfer, the damage would have already been done. So having an on-site center that serves that purpose really is very visionary. And even though we call it a cardiac center, we know that it's going to advance other disciplines beyond cardiology. Interventional neurology, interventional radiology will benefit, and it's really going to boost the position of the hospital, especially as a training center. So we really thank you, Mr. President, for this really visionary initiative.
So before, if you had to do cardiac interventions, where did you do them?
We had
in the main hospital?
No, the opportunity wasn't available in the entire northern sector.
Referrals?
They had to go to Accra.
Referrals.
They had to go. So those who will die.
Okay.
And those who will eventually go probably will not need the procedure.
That's very gruesome.
So unfortunately, the idea of referral is not an option for most of our patients. Yes, it's time sensitive. In cardiology, we say time is a muscle. So an on-site center really helps our purpose. So thank you very much. Yes.
Mr. President.
All right.
I'm the CEO, and we urgently, I'm fine, thank you. We urgently need an oxygen plant on the main building. No, on the main building. Yes.
But can't they supply you from here?
No, because of the pressure differences. If you have to pull it from here up to the 5th floor on the main building, it may be difficult. So currently, we urgently need an oxygen plant on site. The one we have is broken down, and we are currently going to Bolga to fill our cylinders.
But can't we fix the one you have?
We've been following the vendors, and they can't find a part. It's an old type.
It's an old plant.
Yes. Then buying a new one.
Out the old one and then put it
Yes, sir. So President. Okay. Yes.
Hey. No money.
Yes. All right. So we are most grateful to have you here.
And then there won't be any money left for intervention.
All right. Okay.
Say hello. Hi, how are you all?
Who gets
How are
this?
you? Good.
And so the president is currently receiving briefing at the Tamale Teaching Hospital where the facility will be situated. The contractor has had a turn. The cardiologist has also spoken. The briefing we have is that the Minister for Health would also be speaking briefly. After the Minister of Health has made his presentation, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama would make a brief statement which is part of his reset in Ghana. So the Minister of Health will continue from here.
CATLABs in this country. Fortunately enough, we've gone beyond even just a simple CATLAB to an oncology center, which is of essence, especially in the northern part of the country. Mr. President, until this intervention, any issue with respect to cardiac or stroke had to be referred to Accra. And so it is a very strategic intervention at this point in time. And I think that the people of this area will continue to remember you for this monumental achievement. Thank you very much.
Sponsors.
Daddy, this one is an intervention that helps the Ghana Medical Trust Fund, especially because of the cancers that we want to start with. Most of the cancer patients will be their patients, and thank God that it's not just about the CATLAB equipment, but now we are escalating it to a pharmacy in there, an ICU, consulting rooms, there's a hybrid theater, and then the nurses will have their own stations and everything. So it becomes a one-stop shop that the moment that you finish the procedure, you have even wards that you can stay for your recovery. Ordinarily, if it was just a CATLAB, they will have to move you to the main hospital. But now that will not happen again because of the extension that we intend to add to it. So it becomes a full cardiology center. When you enter, by the time you are done and walking out, you are going straight home, and you don't need to go and continue your treatment in the main facility. So I think that we want to say thank you to you. This one is a game changer so far as the northern region is concerned, and because of where it is situated, all the surrounding communities and constituencies, and even I'm sure that we'll get some medical tourism so far as this facility is concerned. So thank you very much. He says sponsored by the Ministry of Health and the Ghana Medical Trust Fund. Thank you very thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. CEO and our young cardiothoracic doctors. I think that I'm impressed with what we've seen. What triggered all this was a medical doctor in Kumasi needed the services of a CATLAB. They call it a CATLAB. It's used for angioplasty, am I right? And the one in Kumasi was broken down. They rushed him to Accra. The one in Accra had a fire incident and was out of service. So unfortunately he died. And so it was decided that we'll procure 2 CATLABs, one for Accra, one for Kumasi. And we said, but why don't we get one for Tamale too, so that at least geographically across the whole country we would have a CATLAB, so that in the event that somebody needs that urgently, they'll be able to be treated. When the one for Tamale was brought, we realized that it didn't have all the supporting services to be able to make it functional. Because the one in Accra is at the cardio center. They've got their ICU, they've got their wards, they've got their consulting rooms and everything. So it meant that we needed to build a whole cardio center for Tamale in order to install the CATLAB and give them all the ancillary services to be able to intervene in case anybody has a cardiovascular incident. The significance of this facility is that in the whole of the northern sector, there's no facility like this. And so everybody who gets a cardiovascular accident or a stroke or something, most of the time you had to be stabilize, if they could stabilize you, and then refer you to Accra or Kumasi. And like the doctor said, those who died, died. Those who survived, survived. Today, we're giving the people in the whole of the north of this country a facility where they also can have a good chance of survival in case they have a cardiac incident. This is the only of its type in all the 5 northern regions. And so we want to thank the Ministry of Health and the Ghana Medical Trust Fund, Mahama Cares, for funding this facility. I'm sure that this facility is going to be overwhelmed with patients, because I'm sure patients even from Burkina Faso and other parts of the sub-region are going to come here to seek treatment. I believe that the way to go with our teaching hospitals is to continue to set up these centers of excellence. We did that with Kolebu, we did the plastic and burns unit, we did the oncology unit, we did the cardiothoracic unit. And so I think with Tamale Teaching Hospital, while we have the general hospital, we must supplement it with specialized institutions so that more people can be able to get specialized care. I think the next we need to be looking at is a center for treatment of cancers and other things. Right now, cancer patients have to go to Kumasi or Accra, you know, for radiotherapy and some of the other specialized cancer treatments. So I'll throw it again to the Ministry of Health. We thank you, but like Oliver Twist, we've secured this one. Start looking at a cancer center here in Tamale so that we don't have to send patients all the way down to the south to be able to receive specialized treatment. I'm satisfied at the rate of work, and I'm sure that it should be completed soon. All the equipment is available, and as soon as the construction work is finished, the equipment will be installed. And maybe by next year, we will all come back and commission the first cardiothoracic center in the whole of the Savannah area. So thank you very much.
So His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has just finished the inspection of progress of work at the cardiothoracic center here at the Tamale Teaching Hospital. Immediately, the president leaves here as part of his resetting Ghana tour of the northern region. He will be heading towards some road construction project. I've spotted the Minister for Roads and Highways. I've spotted other key government officials who later in the day, as he wraps up, converge at the University of Development Studies auditorium, where there will be the Citizens Forum, which will give the opportunity to some